Hi everyone.
Hey, how
Hello.
are you, George?
Hi,
I'm
George.
fine.
Hey, Ben's here too. So I think we have a quorum, so we'll just get started without further ado. And then let me share my screen. Where did that button disappear to? Sorry about this. Ah, here we go. There you go. You guys can see this?
Yes.
All right,
Yep.
cool. All right, so we'll get started. And I also have a Google Doc that I started, which I'll put this on the chat window. It's weird. There we go. So yeah, if thought we start a Google Doc so we can all contribute notes. So I won't be the only person jotting down the notes, so we appreciate it. Let's see. Let me just advance the slide. So I mean, pretty full agenda today. Excited to welcome another core team member, which is great. Good to see the team growing. Wanted to give you a quick update on the hackathon that's starting in a couple of days. We'll talk about community dashboard that some of you may have heard about, and I don't think I see Remy here, but wanted to talk about some of the initiatives that we started to improve the velocity of community contribution. There are already some of the things that a lot of you are aware of, but just wanted to summarize it. Some of the things that we've been doing. Speaking of Remy, here he is. So, hey, Remy.
Hi.
Cool. And then I think, George, you created an issue to improve the core team layout, so we can discuss that a little bit more. We've had some discussion over the issue and wanted to give you a quick update on GitLab Contribute, or formerly called the GitLab Summit. And I think I added like a one topic on any other business on the MVP voting that you've seen on the Slack channel. But that's sort of the agenda we have today. So we'll get started. And like I noted, Ben's on the call. So welcome, Ben. I mean, I think number of us that were at the summit, we had a chance to meet Ben. I mean, Ben led one of the UGC sessions based on his work and contributions, and I believe he probably his first contribution was back in May 2013. He probably made contribution earlier than anybody here on the call. So welcome, Ben. I'm not sure if you want to say a couple of quick things just to introduce yourself, if you have audio, Ben. But,
yeah. So excited to be here, be part of the team, and help grow the GitLab community.
Awesome.
Welcome,
Welcome,
Ben.
Ben.
Welcome, Ben. There you go.
cool. All right, thanks. So moving to the next slide. Just wanted to, I mean, you probably been following either on Gitter, Twitter, or other social channels. The hackathon our second hackathon is starting this Wednesday. There's a link to the blog post, and like we did last month, or I guess back in late September, we have an event wiki page where a lot of the logistical information is posted, and as we have tutorial sessions, all the materials will be posted there. And the focus again, like it was last time, will be on community contributors submitting MRs, and there'll be to make it interesting, there'll be prizes and whatnot that as an incentive. Just a couple of requests. I know a number of you were very active. I mean, back in late September. I definitely want to encourage you to participate either through MRs or helping people out on Gitter. I definitely encourage you to do that. And we have 4 tutorial sessions. I mean, we have sessions on Omnibus, architecture, Gitter, and also Meltano. So we have those sessions all listed on the wiki page. If you, I mean, feel free to participate if time slot or time zone allows. And those will all be recorded. So if you're interested in a certain topic, but you're not able to participate, you should be able to see them. And if you're contributing MRs during the event, if you can add the hackathon label, this will definitely help us with tracking of MRs during the event. So that would certainly be appreciated. David, I'm not sure if you have anything else that you want to add here or anything I may have missed as your take.
No, just a small thing that some suggestions that George did yesterday regarding to logistics. We noticed that the wiki page right now is well, just quick change that I did. The wiki page is now on the homepage of the project, so that I've posted the URL on the notes. So if you click on that, then it will take you to, well, there's a link to the homepage, so that there's a shorter URL essentially. But I think the main thing was that we should probably, I mean, moving forward, if we keep using issues before we move to, sorry, if we keep using the wiki before we move to just having a regular web page, we should probably be using just one project and having separate wiki pages for each hackathon rather than having one project for each hackathon. Because I think it's a bit confusing for contributors, and it's easier for us then to point people to just one place essentially.
Okay. Cool.
I mean, another thing I noticed with the wiki, so, you know, I was wanting to submit a merge request to the wiki, but you can't do that. So,
yeah, I probably didn't add you as a member yet because you just joined the core team, so let me make a note of that. So
no, yeah, I mean, totally get that, but just in the sense that the wiki doesn't support the merge request functionality either.
Yeah. Okay.
So personally, I do lots of stuff with just straight markdown in a project and skip the wiki feature altogether. So anyway, separate topic for another day.
No, yeah. I mean, I saw that discussion on Slack. I mean, I was actually off today, so I didn't chime in there, but I think there are pros and cons that we probably want to think about. But yeah, I definitely see your point.
Yeah. I mean, for historical, or just for historical context, the first hackathon, we had a couple of, I mean, we had decided on a date, and we wanted to organize it as soon as possible and to and not to steal the thunder of the issue bash. So we decided to do the event just before, just having during the week the hackathon and then the weekend the issue bash. So we had a couple of weeks to prepare. We just decided on the wiki because it was something that allowed us to quickly put together a schedule. But moving forward, I think we want to move to a web page, essentially, with a homepage for the hackathon, which Ray started creating the skeleton of, and that definitely would then be easier for contribution. Then, I mean, I myself didn't realize that you had to explicitly add contributors to the or project members to the wiki. But yeah, that's good feedback. So we should generally make it easier for people to contribute.
Right. Yeah, and Hannes is. Sorry, go ahead, Ben.
Always iterating.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Hannes is jotting down notes about labels. Yeah, I mean, Hannes is definitely true for regular contributors, but all the core team members as developers. I mean, you have the developer. You're part of the developer team, right? So the core team members should be able to assign labels yourselves. But yeah, fair point about, I mean, regular contributors, obviously, that will have to do it for them on their behalf. But I know like George and others have done it at the last hackathon as well. But anyhow.
But we have the rights to do that. I just think that if we want to start using that label, then we should assign it to all MRs that are created for this. So we should communicate that other contributors should just mention that this is a hackathon MR, and we can assign the label accordingly.
Yeah, I mean, what David and I have been telling the other contributors is just to copy me and David, so it flags us at the very least, and then we can assign the labels. So
actually, it might be a good idea to, and it perhaps would make it easier and more inclusive if rather than just CCing you and I, that CC the whole core team, if everyone.
Yeah,
agrees.
that's another option. So cool. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting idea, but like you said, probably something to revisit at a future hackathon, because lots of notifications just turn into noise at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes this time around. It wasn't that bad last time around. I think there were a total of like 25. I forget what the exact numbers were over a period of 2 days. So we were able to. I mean,
I think
yeah. Go ahead, Ben.
It could be something that the bot could possibly help with in the future as well, I think.
Right. Yep.
Keywords or something.
Right. Cool. Okay. So yeah, any questions on the hackathon? I mean, let me know either through Slack or other channels. And thanks in advance for the help that you're going to provide over the 2 days in the middle of the week. And we're definitely hoping for continued success this time around. Cool. Okay, moving right along. Community dashboard. I mean, unfortunately, this is still a bit of a work in progress. I definitely wanted to share this with you. You see the URL there, gitlab.biturge.io. I mean, if you go to that dashboard right now, what you'll see mostly is, I mean, you'll definitely have a visibility into the contributions, community contributions to the Enterprise Edition. The contribution to the CE project, unfortunately, you'll only be able to see, like, I mean, it looks like it's all coming from the bot, because that's what's, I mean, when it gets ported over to EE, you lose the identity, the individual contributors when it's done by the bot. So we're in the process of, David and I added like a CE as another data source for them to track, but for whatever reason, they've been having problem with this for over like a week and a half. And I saw an email from the Bitergia folks today. They're still working on that issue. So the CE data is only partially like available. Like if you pick a time frame of more than a year, you'll see the CE data, but anything less than that, the data doesn't appear under merge requests. So that's, I mean, I was hoping to have more detailed tour of the dashboard and information today, but probably have to put it off for now. But the training video, as part of our statement of work with Bitergia, they provide us with 3 training. And the first training video on YouTube is available. You'll find the link there that I think both David, Remy, and I were part of, and it's pretty detailed. It gives you an overview of how to use a dashboard, so you'll definitely get a sense of the navigation and how to use a tool and how to do filtering and queries. And once the CE bug is fixed, we'll probably set up a second training session for us to attend. But that's all available, and then we'll probably make a more public. I mean, maybe it's not quite an announcement, but we'll. I mean, the dashboard is obviously available publicly, but we'll talk about it more once all the bugs kind of worked out. Let's see. I think that's about all I wanted to say at this point. Let's see. I mean, right now you have visibility into activities on Git, issues, and also merge requests. And that's sort of where we are today. David, I'm not sure if I'm missing anything here, anything else we need to talk about, but But I mean, so far so good. I mean, it definitely gives us better visibility into what kind of contributions are being made to GitLab. And then, I mean, obviously we're focused on contributions coming from outside of GitLab team members. That's sort of the main motivation for putting this dashboard together.
Yeah, I think perhaps one note to add is that right now we've got two data sources, essentially Git commits and then or rather Git directly, and then there's the GitLab API, and from that GitLab API, that's where the two tabs in the panel come from: GitLab merges and GitLab issues. One thing that we've noticed is that if you look at the Git data source, you can see the organization that the contributor is associated to, but we lose that data on the issues and merge requests tabs. I mean, it's not that we lose it, but the way this information is inferred is from Git. What the dashboard does is looks at the email from the contributor and then determines the company or organization that the contributor is coming from. On merge requests and issues, that the email cannot be read, and unless the contributor has explicitly set the organization field, then that information is not available. We're looking at ways of merging the contributor data coming from Git and the contributor data coming from the API, but this might take some time. There's still some discussions going on the issue on the V30 dashboard, but just to let you know, so that doesn't come as a surprise, essentially. But, you might see some the organizations where the contributors come from clearly defined on the Git tabs, but not on the issues and merges.
So yeah, while David was talking, I was just doing a quick filtering of contributions from outside of GitLab, and it just basically filtered out any contribution from the bots. So I mean, here basically you'll see contribution that's been made over the past 5 years from various contributors. So cool. Okay. There are no questions. I'll move quickly along. And then, I mean, Remy, I might just turn things over to you because, I mean, you've been, intimately involved in this. I mean, there are various activities that's now captured in an epic on the quality team. So various initiatives. I sort of pulled like a 3 or 4 major bullet points as a highlight. But I mean, Remy, feel free to jump in here and talk about what various activities that's been going on.
Yeah, to be honest, I wasn't there when the epic was created, but I can probably speak about the automation of the triage automation that we've been doing, and that's kind of related. So recently we've been assigning the accepting merge request to all the issues that have a milestone. And we also removed this label for issues that are assigned, so that it's more clear that once an issue is assigned, it doesn't accept any new merge request temporarily, so that there's no competition between two contributors, if I can say that. So that's what we've been doing. And yeah, we also automatically label community contributions by looking at the author, and if the author is not in the GitLab org group, then we had the community contribution label automatically. So that we already do that. And yeah, recently we also implemented these triage package for community contributions that are stale. And so it creates an issue basically with a list of merge requests that have no activity for at least 2 months, and then we ping the merge request coaches. So feel free to look at these kind of issues. What I'm saying that I'm wondering if maybe some of you from the core team wants to be added to this group, to the merge coaches group. So I will add a link to that.
Yeah, because I think like Hannes, like you volunteered, and I think Hannes was added. I can't remember if other core team members were added there or not.
Cool.
Yeah, and the first triage package, I believe, just went out like over the weekend, right? Am I correct? Like I thought I saw that in inbox. Yeah, I didn't read them yet, but I thought I saw them. But
yeah, it's been a few days. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Remy, how often are the emails sent for these triage packages? I mean, I did see it as well, but I was wondering. Yeah, I wasn't too sure.
Sorry, can you? I didn't get the question.
No worries. Sorry. How often are the email notifications for these triage packages sent?
I believe it's once a week, right?
Yeah. I think
Okay.
it's weekly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, we thought daily was just too frequent, so we wanted to start with once a week, and if that's not the right frequency for whatever reason, we can easily change them, I think. But,
yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Remy. I thought I only saw like 3 of them, which I haven't read yet, but I'll definitely take a look at them. Cool. All right. So moving right along, I'm just looking at the clock, make sure that we're doing okay on time. And George, I mean, you created a very comprehensive list of how we can improve the layout. I mean, many of the things I definitely agree with, but let me open the issue, and then George, I can have you walk through this as well, rather than me doing it. But
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, George.
So this is about improving the core team page layout.
Yeah.
I've split it into 3 steps, so we can progressively improve this. I'm not sure if you agree with all of these steps. It's about conforming with and having the same layout with the team page layout of the GitLab members, or just merge the members with the team page. I'm not sure what's the best option here, because I saw that the URLs have changed and the team has moved under /company/team, and the core team is under /community/core team. So maybe I'm not sure if it's the best to merge the core team members into the team page. But let me know what you think.
I think we've discussed it in the issue itself. I definitely agree. We need to have a separate page for a core team. The only comment I was making was that in terms of like the team members of the core team, I wouldn't mind seeing them under because even under GitLab team page, like we have people that are like outside advisor and board members. So I think it's good to have like the core team members included there under the team page. People are okay with that. I assume I'll have to run that by the people ops team and make sure they're okay with that. But that was just one of the things. But the others were more stylistic ones. And I mean, I agree, George. We can definitely make him look a lot better in terms of having more visible structure, like a mission at the top and other things at the bottom. But I think
like the team page, we can use the existing layout probably. I mean, I don't think there's a problem.
Yeah.
Great. I don't quite follow the suggestion. So you're saying having a separate page for the core team, but then you're saying having the team members under the GitLab.
The initial suggestion was to have a separate core team page with the core
Yeah.
team members. That's it. Ray suggested to merge have the core team members inside the team page, but I'm not sure about this, mostly because of the structure URL and don't want to confuse people. But I'm okay with both options. But
yeah, I mean, I'm not too fussed about the URL itself. I think that the text change happened a couple of weeks ago.
yes,
but I mean, to me personally, and I'd like to hear everyone else's thoughts as well. The core team members page is quite useful as well for pointing contributors or potential contributors who might want to join the core team to see what the community members do and essentially to understand what the core team does. Yeah, I mean that might be my suggestion, to keep the core team page as
yes, I think
page.
Whether if you add the core team members in the team page or not, we should have a separate core team member for sure,
right,
to have all the information and the links in there.
Yeah. Okay, so I think at least then we agree on that. I mean, I still think that listing the core team members in there would be good, because people then see, new contributors see humans essentially, and I think there's an inspiring factor in there as well. I mean, whether we put them in both places, that's another question as well. I mean, we've got one data.yaml page, data.yaml file that we could extract the info and decide where we want to display the profiles.
Yeah, I think, Remy, you made a comment about we don't need to duplicate the content. Like, we can just point to the same source. I think that's what you were saying, Remy. But
yeah, basically we have already a file for the team, so we can at least for the core team members that are from the GitLab company, we can reuse this data.
Right. Yeah, so I mean, maybe what we can do, I mean, we can discuss more in detail in the issue, I guess.
Or maybe we can do this step by step, right? Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah. No, go ahead, George.
And just fix the core team page first, and then think if we want to add the core team members in the team page. So not do this all together. I'm not sure.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say. So that's perfect. Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense. So
I think as a starting point, just some sort of reference would be, I mean, if you look at the team page, right, it talks about, GitLab pets, right? I mean, as a starting point, you can just mention the core team and point to the, new page, or even it could be the existing page. So kind of two different things, right? One is the core team page probably needs an overhaul, and two is it'd be nice to probably be mentioned on the team page somewhere, somehow.
Okay. I'm not sure, but there is already a link at the bottom, I think, for the core team, but we can discuss this with the team.
is that the bottom of the team page, George, or?
Yes, it's always on the bottom of the page, on the footer.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess my point was to more show that, the team that builds GitLab is both GitLab employees as well as the GitLab community, as well as the GitLab core team is kind of like the go-to for the community, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So something more visible than just the footer. Yeah, I see it now.
Certainly, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I was thinking, we can just add the core team members here. I mean, I don't think that's that difficult to do. And then once that's there, then yeah. But
I think we should separate this into district steps. So let's improve the core team page, maybe add a link from the team page, and then add the members if the team is okay. Or
right.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So I think, George, if it can just summarize, in bullet points, I will
try and do
three
that.
things. Yeah. And then we can break out the work amongst ourselves and move forward. Cool. I didn't want to type over what David was doing. Cool. Okay. So, all right. So I think this is one of the last items. I think it was last week. There was during the company meeting, there was an update on GitLab Contribute. That's a new name for GitLab Summit, and I think many of you have attended past summits or GitLab Contribute. But first of all, I just wanted to make sure that people are aware of the date. It's May 8th through 14th in New Orleans in the U.S. So I think we had about half the core team members in South Africa a couple of months ago, but I'd love to have close to 100% participation in May. And if you're interested in a Slack channel to follow the discussions that are going on, so I added a Slack channel there that you can subscribe to and follow. And I don't think, I mean, based on discussion we've heard so far, I don't think the structure is going to change a whole lot. This is not going to be a traditional conference where you're just sitting through lots of PowerPoint slides and presentations. Like, a lot of the sessions are going to be led by participants, not just GitLab team members. And I think, you know, Hannes, Takuya, I don't think he's on the call today. I mean, we sat through a number of community-related sessions along with David in South Africa, but I think it'll make sense for us to, this group, to propose some sessions that are going to be of interest to GitLab community and also GitLab team members. So I know we're like 7-8 months away, but it'd be good to start thinking about user-generated content sessions that core team members can lead. And that there's a README file that's there's a link there that you can read. I mean, I don't think all the details have been added there yet because we're still sort of in the early days, but I did get confirmation it may not have gotten added to the README file yet, but as in the past, the core team members, I mean, we'll take care of the airfare, we'll take care of the hotel and any of the registration fee that's listed there. So, I mean, the expenses you shouldn't have to worry about. It's just your time commitment that we're asking you to make. So if you want to sort of carve out the dates in early May next year, that would be great. And I've never been to New Orleans. I hear it's a really fun place to go, so I'm definitely looking forward to it and looking forward to seeing everyone. But cool, and I'm sure there'll be more details to come. Cool. And right, so I mean, I'm sure there might be other topics that people want to talk about. I mean, I just saw this today when I got online. The MVP nomination and voting has started on Slack. And then I think there was even a merge request to update the handbook entry on how the MVP nomination and voting is done and which Slack channels used. So if you want to go ahead and vote and participate in the discussion on the MVP, there's a link to the Slack discussion that got posted today. So I encourage all of you to do that. And I appreciate all the core team members that participated in voting last time around, and definitely want all of you to continue doing that going forward. So, and I think that's about everything that I thought of in terms of topics. Please, I mean, let me know if, I mean, we still have about 10 minutes left. So I'm not sure if there's anything else, any other topic that you guys want to discuss or anything I missed.
I have a topic.
Yeah, go ahead, Hannes.
I mean, it's just a random info I saw in Slack, and I thought it might be interesting for everybody else. There's currently a Humble Bundle sale for several DevOps books, some ebooks about all kinds of stuff. You can get them for around $1 if you want. I put the link in the Google Doc.
Okay, take a look at that.
Awesome.
let me share that with everybody. So is this an ebook or like, sorry, I'm just looking at it now.
Those are several ebooks, yeah.
Oh,
If
okay.
you scroll down a bit, you'll get a list.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
The site is basically about pay what you want, and just has a little minimum to get a few more books. At the moment, the minimum is like $1. So.
Right. Cool. Thank you. Cool. Anything else? Any other topics?
Ray, maybe I have a question.
Yeah.
About the merge request coach. Two people contacted me through you, if you remember, but
Yeah.
I still didn't get any contact from them anymore. So I wonder if there's a problem with that, or I don't know.
No. So this is for mentor.
Oh, sorry, mentor.
Yeah. I mean, for some reason, like people, I mean, they'll ask for a mentor. We introduce each other, and then they sort of disappear, right? Which is unfortunate. I mean, it almost happened. I think Vitaly, someone finally pinged you like overnight. But yeah, if this continues to happen, we might want to revisit like how why this is happening. I think for like August and September, I think 4 or 5 people raised their hand and said, please, pair me up with a core team member, and then they never get beyond like email introduction, right? So yeah, I mean, Jacopo, I'd encourage you to ping them one more time, and if they don't get back, then I guess we'll just ignore it. But yeah, I'm just a little bit disappointed that they're not really taking advantage of the opportunity. But
all right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's review this maybe the next meeting next month and see if anything changes.
Yeah.
Or we think about improving that.
Right. I mean, George, like, what about you? Because I think I introduced you to somebody, and I don't know if that person got in touch with you or not. But
yes, I sent him an comprehensive email about pointing out some merge requests he can tackle according to difficulty in areas of documentation and backend, because he's doing some Ruby work. He got in touch. He sent me an email about he will be on vacation, so he will be back at the end of November. So
okay.
He thanked me for pointing to the issues.
Okay.
We'll see.
Cool. Okay, we'll see how it goes. And Vitaly, thanks for following up with that person really quickly. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I don't know, David. I don't know if you have any ideas. And this is one of the things that I was gonna talk to you about. Like, after introductions, like a lot of people haven't necessarily taken advantage of it. So, I mean, at some point, like, I don't want to try beyond like a couple of months, but maybe there's something else that we can do to make sure that they do take advantage of it. But
yeah, I mean, right now, off the top of my head, I think it might be a good point to discuss on the next meeting.
Yeah.
But perhaps one of the things that we could explore might be to do a dedicated event for mentoring, essentially, to update on the calendar.
Yeah, maybe something like an office hour or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it might be worth having office hours for contributors in general. Not only with the core team, but with the wider GitLab team as well. So it might be worth inviting someone from a particular area or for a particular group / stage.
Yeah. Cool. Jotting down some notes. Cool. Okay. Great. And anything else in the next 5 minutes?
So I noticed, I mean, we talked about this a minute ago, but with GitLab contribute, there's definitely some date discrepancies on the the project itself. Like it says 8th through 14th at the top, and then it says 9th through 11th in the body.
Okay. Let me take a look at that. Thanks, David.
And I can file an issue or something. I just don't want to, ruffle any feathers.
No. I mean, you're not. I mean, that's why we let people submit merge requests or issues, right? So, okay.
Do we have time to?
I mean, I guess.
Sorry. Right? Do you
I
have
was just
time
going to say from
the
other. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Say.
Go ahead, Ben. So.
I was just going to say, so the summit looks to be, or the contribute looks to be longer this time, and you mentioned the format might not be changing much, so I definitely hope we know more about what might make it longer.
Yeah, I think it's a little longer because, I mean, we sort of experimented with inviting customers in South Africa. I believe there will be more customers being invited. So, I mean, we're definitely expecting a lot more people. I think that's one of the reasons why it's longer, but I think it makes sense to, verify the dates.
Yeah. No, I mean, I guess, so I was there as a customer, right? And if the format stays very similar to what it was, and you're just inviting more customers, I'm not sure how extending the links improves it. But anyway, it's probably a conversation for another time with other parties. So.
Right. No, I mean, my assumption was that I could be completely wrong. There'd just be more like UGC sessions. I think there were about like 40 UGC sessions sprinkled over 2 days in South Africa, and it might be more, but I might be, and there might be more like a customer-led, like a UGC sessions. I think there were only like 3 in South Africa. I mean, there might be like more of those sort of spread out through the event, but I'm just making an assumption, so I should probably look at it.
No, I have.
It up.
Yep, I had lots of ideas there because I mean, I know before with the UGCs, the whole thing was keep them small, no agenda. It's not someone presenting, but I really think that there probably should be a couple different. I think there should be a couple different types. Probably like some of them probably are more someone presenting. I mean, it might be a core team member presenting on a new technology that no one's used, and like you might be the only one talking because you're the only one that knows it. So,
okay.
Anyway.
Yep. And George, I think you had a comment or a question.
No, I'm not sure if we have enough time, but to discuss about the onboarding experience of the core team member, there's an issue for that too. So we can discuss this in the issue.
Sorry about that. Like I completely forgot about that. We'll probably run out of time. But I made like a slight change to the template for onboarding, and sorry that wasn't like necessarily visible. I realized that some of the people ops things are private for a reason, including like employee onboarding. So I think that's one of the reasons why not everything was visible. But yeah, I think there's definitely areas for improvement. I did like remove things that were irrelevant in the template, but if I miss anything else, and I think one of the things I remember was that the owners for whoever's doing like a particular task wasn't clear. I think that was like, for example, like who's doing the NDA as an example, right? And then there's a license to like JetBrains, whether that's still relevant or not. But we should definitely follow up on those. Thanks for bringing that up.
By the way, in terms of the license, that unrelated, but that made me realize that everyone could ask for a license, even employees too. So I think that's still relevant actually.
Okay.
We can discuss in the issue and follow this up in the next meeting or something.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, George. I completely forgot about that.
No problem.
To add it to AOB section, but cool. All right. Well, thanks everybody. We'll do this again in about a month. And then, yeah, I had this discussion with Ben. I mean, both Ben and I are in the same time zone in California. And for both of us this time, it's late in the evening, but we're both a bit of a night owl. So this works for us. So I think we can keep this time slot until the time changes again in March. But we'll probably see a new calendar invite in the next couple of weeks, next week or so. Cool.
Thanks.
Cool.
All right, those of you in Europe, have a good day. And
Thanks, everyone.
yeah,
Bye, everyone.
I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Bye.